There's just one thing I don't like.
What?
I don't think that kind of power can be shared, do you?
You'll just have to trust me. I need you to help me.
That's the thing. You need me. But do I really need you?
Greetings everyone, and welcome to not really a review necessarily, but a look at the Galidor KEK Powerizer, I suppose. Now, this is a Lego set in the most vague way possible, and well, I'm going to just put down the camera so that you'll have a worse view, but so I can just kind of explain what on earth this is. Yeah, let's just do that. So, framing the box as best as I can, Galidor was essentially a TV series, live action, that LEGO produced, I think. Information is a bit all over the place when it comes to Galidor, but essentially it was a TV show and a video game that was based around this original LEGO concept. Now, this is nothing new or original or anything like that. You know, there's plenty of, Bionicle had this, City had this, there was Space Police and stuff like that that all had, various media. With Galidor, though, it was essentially created to be both a toy line based around a TV show, something like He-Man or something like Thundercats, that kind of thing, but also, rather than just being typical LEGO, was supposed to be a competitor to things like G.I. Joe, Action Man, Barbie even, and that is one of the weirder aspects of this. As you can see, this is the figure that's in this box. That does not look like Lego, and I say that from experience. I have got a lot of Lego. It's very unique, and that is exemplified by the fact that the main character of Galidor is this guy. And fair enough, this entire, setup with him is a combination of different characters, but this is Nicholas. Right there, Nicholas. He was the main character, and sure, in the show's live action, he was an actual person. This is what he looked like as a toy in the LEGO series, and that's just kind of terrifying. They look like if... Honestly, they look like if LEGO produced Barbie dolls, which sounds ridiculous, but we've got to remember that actually did happen at various points, not Barbie specifically, but we have seen Barbie competitors come from LEGO. So, honestly, it's not all too surprising what this line actually is, but honestly, it has to be seen to be believed, so I'm going to get this out. This is a complete in-box set, I suppose. I've had this for years. I found it at a charity shop randomly, and I was kind of confused by it all. As you can see, it has talkback technology. It works by listening in to both the TV show and the video game, and then can say random phrases and light and sound and stuff like that. At least that's my understanding. I've never managed to get this thing to work, so that's not going to be in this video, but let's just open up KEK. I don't know if that's a H or a K. It's hard to tell. KEK Powerizer, I suppose. Let's just open it up and see what he actually looks like out of the box. And so I've taken him out of the box, and first off, he's in parts. He's a Lego set, so you'd expect that. This is the torso. And, if I handed this to you and you immediately said, oh, it's that Lego set, honestly, gold star for you, because this doesn't look at all like any Lego set I've ever seen, other than stuff from Galidor, which I've seen plenty of it. This is just the only one I own. And it's a very interesting thing. So, as you can see in the arms, you actually have pin joints, and they work with the arms, which this is one of the arms. They look a bit weird, admittedly. But as you can see, they have a pretty classic pin joint on them, and that just goes in there, ratcheted, It actually has a little bit of movement on it. It's actually pretty well articulated to say it's Lego. But yeah, it's definitely a little interesting thing. That ratchet is so loud. But yeah, you also have legs, which I have no clue which way these are supposed to go. I think this is a right leg, yeah. We've got this one going on there. Then we've got the other arm going on there. Very cool. And then I actually have two choices for heads. I don't know which one is really the correct one, but we have helmeted look, which kind of reminds me of the large enemies from Halo. I can't remember. Brutes, are they called? Something like that. But it has that kind of aesthetic to it. It's like it's almost like Bane from the Dark Knight movies. But yeah, that's one look. I'll quickly just put that on like that. It doesn't look quite right. There is actually a hood piece that goes over, and in my opinion, that actually kind of makes this head specifically look worse. That is not popping on. There we go. It's a bit tight because it is old. You know, everything's a bit, worn out, a bit expanded and stuff. That's definitely a look. But then the other head that you get is the one that I think is a lot more interesting. It's the robot head. And it has a little eye stalk and stuff. That does actually move. You can move... Okay, left side moves the little hair up and down. Like so. I don't know why that is, but I'm sure it's something to do with the show. And then on the other side, you have changing the eye stalk length. Which, once again, don't really know if that's like... Is that a telescopic thing? Does he see further with that? Is it when he lies? Is he Pinocchio? I don't know. I haven't watched the show. I don't really want to. But yeah, this is, for me, the better head. I'm going to have to take these behind the camera because I can't get the hood off. There's the other head, the masked helmeted head. And if I can quickly snap that on, there we go. So that is what it looks like with the robot head, and I think that is a much better overall look. Now, this is just a really weird toy, honestly. It's kind of, I'd say, it's like Action Man, G.I. Joe, Barbie doll scale, but the proportions are all off. The heads, as you can tell, are very, very small compared to the rest of it, even with the little hood thing. And then you've got things like the arms being this shape. You can't rotate them in any other way. They only move at the actual shoulder piece. The legs are a bit all over the place, which, you know what? This isn't an action figure review, really, but let's just go over the articulation. So I'll remove the hood just to get it out of the way. Knocked off the head. Perfect. But you do have... Oh, God. This is going to be very fun. No forward, basically. 2 clicks of back, okay, so you can look up slightly. Oh, that might have been 1, I don't even know. At the arm, you have out, looking great. That goes in, okay. You've got spin. That's actually pretty good. Nothing at the wrist or anything. Nothing at the torso. At the legs, we have the ability to tear them off. But, yeah, you have out, which is, I mean, I've seen Spider-Man with worse kicks, but, that's beside the point. We got forward, which, I mean, he could do some high kicks if he wanted to. And then back goes alright, but there isn't anything at the ankles. So you can't get really a walking... I swear, my toys are divas. You shouldn't be able to get a walking pose, but apparently I just did. So there we go, you can actually put it in a walking pose. I don't know how I've done that. But in any case, then at the very feet, I'm not counting this as articulation, obviously, but it does actually work with Lego. All these gaps in the feet work perfectly with studs. So if you had a standard plate or base plate or anything like that, it fits to it. I used to use this in a Lego City, and the fact that it fits so well was amazing. It was surprising more than anything, and yeah, it's a very odd thing overall. But yeah, everything here can actually be used with real Lego in terms of like standard system stuff. Because it's all system and Technic. Like, that's a pretty standard connector. Like, you can find plenty of stuff In fact, I'm just going to spend 5 minutes. I'm just going to find a handful of parts that can all connect to this. Okay, so I've gone ahead and just grabbed a few odd pieces. I have the lid from a Bionicle tub, and you can see a pinpoint just there. It's not perfect fit, doesn't have a snap to it, but that does actually work. I'm sure there's actually other points on this specifically that would probably work, but there we go, already one. I've got a cog piece, which, as you can see, has holes in it. Perfect, and you can rotate that around on it. Very cool. Take that off. We have a brick with Technic holes in it. Once again, perfect. That's actually a strong connection as well. And then finally, just because it's another thing that I found that had them, another piece. I think this is from like a forklift or something. Perfect. Swings around. That would actually allow for other connection points because you've got both studs and a hinge. So there's plenty of options, and this goes for the heads as well. The heads are also set up in the same way. So basically every part of this can be used within regular system or Technic, whatever, with no modification, which is remarkable to me, and honestly makes Galidor as a whole, especially this scale, because there were other scales of figures within this line. This scale is especially noteworthy of just like, it makes so little sense, but yet it still is compatible with every major part of system. It's such an interesting just experiment, I suppose. And you know what? I'm going to grab some 12-inch figures just to compare with, height-wise, just so you can get an idea that this is not like normal Lego scale. This is not a minifigure that I'm just holding really close to the camera. This is, you know, probably 10 to 12 inches. And so I have a 12-inch Scout Trooper, Star Wars Scout Trooper. That's a Black Series Stormtrooper, which is admittedly, I'll just quickly show where they're all stood, so you know there's no camera trickery. That one is stood slightly in front, so technically that looks a little bit bigger just because of perspective. But these two are completely in line. I'm just going to get rid of that. And then there is Dalek Tech Hybrid from Doctor Who. They are all supposed to be 12-inch scale, and that's what they are. They are the same height, give or take maybe a few centimeters, a few millimeters, a few inch, something like that. Give or take, they are essentially the same height. This is a 12-inch action figure made by Lego for a TV show that they produced that nobody remembers. And before we finish this video, I just want to quickly go over some of the paperwork that's included. So there is this, which I believe is a mini poster catalogue. So there is some Galidor stuff I think is in a different scale on this. I think. I'm not completely sure. I can't really keep track of what's happening on this, but yeah, there's a few of the different... Oh, these are for the game, actually. As you can see, it was on Nintendo GameCube, Game Boy Advanced, PC, and PlayStation 2. I've never played the game, but I'm sure it's terrible. But yeah, there's a lot of different characters on here. There's the robot that we've got the head of. Interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, it shows a few of the different sets. We've got Nicholas Bluetooth, because of course that's his name. Gorm, Jens, Nicholas Bluetooth Deluxe, Gorm Deluxe. We've got the TDN module, which I don't know what that is, but some sort of vehicle. The Uni, the Nepal and Shimel 2-pack, I suppose, and Euripides. Interesting. And then on the back, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's a full poster for the game that shows this character, and yeah, it's interesting. That is not the only thing that's in this, though. I need to figure out how to fold that up, but I'll do that in a second. We do also get a mini 2002 catalogue. Galidor on the front. Shows all the different stuff. I'm not really going to go through it in detail because that's not what this video is about. But just a bunch of different things, including non-Galidor stuff. I think this is just... Oh, the Star Wars stuff. Cool. I haven't looked through this in a long time. But yeah, there's a lot of just random sets here, including... Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Bionicle, which is obviously a much more successful version of this same idea of using Technic parts to make, you know, robots and stuff. So, yeah. We've got the Join the Lego Club free. That's a throwback. I'm actually getting a lot of nostalgia from looking at that. That's my early childhood right there. And then there's also an instruction manual for the actual set. It's not instructions on how to build it because it's pretty basic. It's how to actually use the electronics, which, as I say, I don't know whether there's something wrong with this or if I've just not managed to find batteries that work. I've never managed to get it working. I don't know whether there is lights and sounds. I'm pretty sure there is sounds at the very least because there is a speaker system in the chest. But other than that, I don't actually know what this does electronically. So if you want to tell me what it does electronically in the comments below, feel free if you're a bit more knowledgeable on this than I am. But yeah, this is a weird and wacky part of LEGO's history. As I said, that magazine was for 2002. This was, I think, 2001 and 2002. This was for. And yeah, it's such a weird thing. As I picked this up from a charity shop for, I think, £2. The entire thing that I've just shown, the box and everything. This was not a popular series, but people, I think, the people that knew about it must have thought they would become valuable, like how action figures often do become valuable in today's climate. I have so many questions. I would also really love to hear your suggestions on what I can kit bash this into. Because this is probably... yeah, it's a little bit too big for 6-inch scale. Except it probably would work for like a Build-A-Figure head. And with the connector on it, I could probably fashion that into some sort of Build-A-Figure joint. You know what? If you've got an idea on what I can make that into using Build-A-Figure parts, I'm more than willing to hear it. Same with the head that's actually on that. But yeah, that is going to be everything. So I hope you enjoyed this look into a weird LEGO set that nobody really knows exists. I've seen a few people online talk about this. I know that Just Too Good, who's a LEGO channel, LEGO guy sort of thing, I know he's done a video on the McDonald's toys or Burger King toys, whatever they were. I have yet to see anyone actually cover the actual sets, especially not these things specifically, the talking toys. So I hope that this brings out more people that actually have this stuff, and hopefully we can get more information on them, because currently everything that I've said is essentially everything that's online. There's not much information about the show, never mind the actual toys. It's a very weird part of LEGO history. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Please, if you have any information at all that I haven't mentioned in this video, comment it below. I'm really wanting to know more about this. But yeah, otherwise, that's it from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye!